What the hell is up, everybody? Zeke Rodriguez here with Alice, Lotta, and the Chips and Salsa Show, New Mexico. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and checking us out. We're almost ready for studio completion. We are almost there. I'm here, right here in the middle, in the heart of Las Cruces, with Mr. Gary Huff on the sound sticks. Thank you so much, sir. And I'm also here again with Miss
Alice Lotta, guacking on today.
Alice Lotta, guacking on as always. Always here, ready with the awesome, conservative, what they would say far right-wing extremist, white supremacist KKK information. But to us,
Nazis. Don't forget about the Nazis. Yeah.
But to us, it's just real world stuff. It's just the truth, right?
Absolutely. Shining the light on the truth.
It's just the truth.
That's right.
We've been getting called all kinds of names lately, but not really. We're kind of talking about that right now. It's the banter's kind of quiet down. There's only like a couple groups left that are still kind of clawing around. You know, coming at us. Have you dealt with any trolls lately? Any?
The last troll, he hasn't been back on my Facebook page. Yeah, when I started asking him questions again, like I said last show, oh, I'm not going to waste time because you're in a cult and you have gray brain matter. And I'm like, yeah.
The gray matter,
I said, that's hilarious. Ha ha. I'm just, whatever. We like to spar. Come on. I would love to. Wouldn't you love to be proven wrong on some of this stuff? If we found out it really wasn't true, some bad stuff, I would love, but they never have any information. They never answer the question.
Well, when they go personal right away, and I go personal because I can be a mean person. So if they want to go personal, I just actually had a debate recently with someone on Instagram, and he started going personal right away. So I hit him back with it, and he didn't like it. You didn't want to go there, so okay, let's go back to facts. Crickets. They don't want to go to the facts. They don't want to go to truth. Absolutely. So their own arguments are really like emotional and like personal attacks. If you want to stay to the facts and have an actual, the problem is most people don't want to have an actual debate with you, which means that you get to say your points and I listen. I get to say my points and you listen, and then we meet somewhere in the middle or we kind of negotiate the conversation, right? What they want to do is just yell at you,
right,
and make you feel bad for having certain thoughts and control the conversation. They don't want to debate because as soon as you start having a real debate where they have to listen, they're not going to like what we have to say.
Well, just shut you down and do name calling, and that's not a big. That's like when you're back in first and second grade, you're a poo-poo head or whatever. Come on, you should be an adult now. It's really kind of sad, and I try to refrain from name calling, but sure enough they'll do it, and then somebody else will just join in on the page, and because they can't handle it, whatever. I guess I've been doing this too long. It's like. It's not worth it.
You're so right. It's so they might as well be throwing like mom jokes out there. Like your mom is so fat she has her own orbit or something. Like you might as well because they get so personal and it's like just throw a mom joke out there, bro. Because that's all you're avoiding the conversation, you're avoiding the debate, and you're throwing a mom joke out there. It's ridiculous.
And you know what they really hate? Especially there was a troll not that long ago, and it was not a believer, didn't believe in God, and I said something, We don't agree, and it was probably on abortion, and I'm praying for you. Don't pray to your non-God or something like that. And I said, and I said, well, you really can't control my prayer, and I still, I because I do pray for them because I don't think they're happy people. They're so angry and mad, and I don't want to be that way. And that's what fight that really, because it slows you down, and it's really not worth it. Just focus on winning because you know what, baby? Trump 2024.
He's about to win.
Trump 2024.
Real quick on the Swissmortion thing. If anybody's in New Mexico and you're arguing about Swissmortion, you're ridiculous because you have maxed out abortion here.
Unlimited.
Maxed out.
That's unlimited.
We're building a $10 million facility right down the road here, bro. Like, there's no reason for you to be upset at all. You should be smoking cigars, drinking whiskey because you got what you wanted.
And let me make mention of this because in Arizona they have initiatives. And there is one, I think it's 139, I'm sorry if I have the wrong number, but they want to make it like here with no limits. So hopefully Arizona will not pass that. But,
that governor's rough.
I hope that it won't, but the people are voting on it. The people are voting on it.
Oh, so people vote on it unless it's cheated. It won't go through.
Yeah.
If it was down to a governor's signature, you guys would be screwed and tattooed.
Well,
that governor's corrupt. How does the Secretary of State, the one who controls the elections, run for governor and then beat Carrie Lake? Like, that makes no sense to me.
Well, we could have a whole show about that, as you know.
But this is corruption in your face right there.
And Arizona again, vote for Carrie Lake. Vote for Carrie Lake. I cannot say that enough. And here in New Mexico, we have some darn good candidates. And if you're thinking, like I keep hearing this still, well, New Mexico's probably going to go blue. We have some candidates that's just barely lost. We can get some Republicans, some conservatives in there. And especially because guess who's coming to our state on Thursday? You want to talk about that yet? Or
Mr. Trump. Oh, yeah. Well, let's talk about it now.
Yeah.
Mr. Trump. So Ronnie Lucero is a part of, what is it? A really big Hispanic organization. I think it's Latinx and other big Hispanic organization.
There's a Libre.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. But he's big time in Albuquerque. Ron, shout out to Ronnie. He goes to Florida, and the Hispanics have a rally for Trump in Florida. And it just so happened that at that same time while he was there, New Mexico was trending red. So he asked his campaign team personally when he was hanging out with Trump if he can come to New Mexico, and they said yes.
Shout out, dude.
Yeah, Ronnie.
That's great.
The guy that did it.
Ronnie Lucero, you said?
Lucero, he's up there in Albuquerque. And so they gave him the authority to confirm publicly on his Facebook. He's got like 16,000 followers.
That's awesome.
And so he did. He put it on Facebook a little over a week ago and said, yes, Trump's campaign has confirmed he is coming to New Mexico. We didn't know where at first. We were hoping he was coming down south.
That would be great.
But if he really does want to swing New Mexico, he's got to go to Bernalillo County. If you guys don't know, I don't know why I'm talking to this camera, wrong camera. If you guys don't know.
Oh, I'm talking to that one too.
New Mexico is solely based on the outcome of Bernalillo County. Bernalillo County holds like 90% of the votes of the entire state.
They're like the Maricopa County of Arizona.
Basically, because Maricopa County, like it says 4 million people in Maricopa County. There's only like 1 million people in New Mexico in total, probably maybe a little bit more.
2 million in the whole state, so about 1 million voters, you're right.
Yeah, about 1 million are over there in Bernalillo County alone. So if you control Bernalillo County, you control the whole state. So Trump is going to Bernalillo County. Fair enough.
Smart.
I'm going. Alice has already been to like 10 of them, so she's good.
I can't go, but you are going to have so much fun. And anybody out there, if you're thinking, well, I don't, go, because they are so much fun. They're so well organized. You'll meet some wonderful, wonderful people, and it's going to give you more energy and excitement about this race. I really want to encourage you. I know it's like about a 3.5 hour drive to Albuquerque?
Like 3 if you haul ass.
3. For me, it's 3.5 hours. Yeah. But please try to go, encourage other people. You will not be disappointed. I have all of them. I've been to 3 rallies in Arizona.
Yeah,
and
10.
And if I could go, I would be there. I would definitely go. So I'm so glad you're going. You're going to be doing live streams from there too, right?
I'll be going live on all platforms.
Gary's going too.
On my own. Gary's going too. We might even just bring a setup. I don't know. I might figure do something creative, whatever that might be. But yeah, I'll be going live on my Instagram, on my Facebook, and on Chips and Salsa Show YouTube. Awesome. So just go sporadically on all different platforms just to kind of keep everybody up to date. I think the more content, the better. I'm looking forward to meeting like-minded people and running into my other buddies that I ran for office with in the past, where we traveled the state, protesting the lockdowns, protesting the masks, promoting Trump, and we were getting, a lot of guff for that. And it's nice to see Mr. Trump coming here and to see so many freaking people in this state wake up and vote Republican. It is damn awesome.
It is so cool. So just a little quick story. So the last one that I went to when I was still living in Arizona was at the Goodyear Airport, and it was really cool. And so what they do is they had big parking lots. You park your car there, and then they shuttle you in these big buses to the site.
All right.
And
the Trump
yeah, the Trump team. So when we were coming back, I sat next to this gal who was like, she had been to bunches all the time. She was like a groupie almost. And she was so good that she knew already, like, the music. She knew, okay, they're playing this music, this is going to happen. Of course, the YMCA, now everybody knows because he's done so many rallies. But they're just the energy that you get from there, because like you say, you're with like-minded people, and you meet, they come from everywhere, and all colors, all ages, all personalities. Some people you think, wow, they're a Trumper. It's everything. It's just like we're going to have a sign waving party on Friday.
That's right.
So Thursday he's going to be here, Halloween, right at noon, I think, in Albuquerque. Friday the next day, hopefully you're back by then. And you guys can be part of the sign wave over there on Telshore and Loman. It's going to be like about 4 o'clock. But the enthusiasm is there, because the last time we did it, man, we got so many thumbs up and shout outs. We got a couple of fingers, but as I say, the left, they're so sad and unhappy. Waste your time, that's fine. You're going to have so much fun, you guys. You're going to have a blast. I'm going to be there in spirit.
Yeah, I imagine, speaking of spirit, but I imagine, because I meet people all the time because I'm campaigning for Republicans in general, Mr. Kane too, but you meet someone, you knock on doors, or you just meet someone in general that, lines up with your values, and it's exciting. It's energetic. You synergize each other. So I imagine a Trump rally is going to be like that on steroids, right?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody and their grandma's there, and they're all voting Trump. They're all down to earth. They all get the fake news media. They all get that it's Marxism takeover, and it's great.
And especially now, because we're just down to the wire. Did you watch Trump at Mar-a-Lago today? He had a special presser.
I didn't get a chance to.
Okay, so the highlight of it was, I watch as many rallies as I can because I think, well, he's going to say the same thing. They're all worth watching. I don't know where he gets the energy from, but man, it's awesome. So he had like moms of victims that had been killed by illegal aliens. It was very powerful. And one of the things he said when he gets in with his administration, what he's going to do is the cartels confiscate their assets, when he gets busted. And he will set up a fund to help those families and people that have suffered because of this problem. Because this border problem is huge. Again, I'm going to say it. I'm going to sound like a broken record, but how anybody can support Kamala when she has let the border go to heck, the administration, I don't understand it, because the top job of a president is a secure nation. You're supposed to defend the United States. And that's like the worst thing you can do. Just open up the borders. And one more thing, because I'm sorry to be so chatty, but I just learned this. I was sharing this with you today. So a tax attorney was looking at the taxes. And here's the main difference, okay? So Kamala's promising a bunch of stuff, which sounds wonderful. Ooh, this sounds pretty and good. And then, of course, Trump has his own plans. Well, you can definitely tell, he said, he's coming from a business point of view. And who's it going to benefit? It's going to benefit, people that have to work overtime. They're not going to pay tax on that overtime and different things. The working people and the businesses, the small business people. Hers, he says, if you really examine them and look at them, it's going to be benefiting the illegal alien population.
And the super rich.
So, that's another thing. That's enough for me. I wanted him to come on and kind of explain. He didn't have time for that. But just that's kind of like the bottom line. And do your own research, whatever. It's all good. I'm going to try to maybe find some stuff and post it. But there's just so many reasons not to support the current vice president. Please, if you're thinking about, somebody else, no, go and vote. Vote.
Well, for me, she seems kind of like a drunken ferret. The way she kind of walks around. And it doesn't make any sense at all. And she's just got weird ferret hair. But besides that, I know why people vote for her, because they are seriously ill-informed. And I'll give you an example. I was debating with someone on Facebook recently, because it was this girl. Her name was Heather Nyquist, and I can say her name because it was on Facebook. You're probably listening right now. Her name is Heather Nyquist, and she has this meme that says Latinos for Trump. It's like this really short, like little Mexican, like fat dude, and then Latinos for Trump.
Oh, that's not offensive at all.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, so you're just like Biden trying to speak for a whole minority demographic.
Is she Latina?
Well, she says she is, but her name's Heather Nyquist.
She could be.
Whatever. It's just the whole idea is like, why are you speaking for a whole population in the first place? So it gives you the right to do that. And Trump's already got 50% of the Hispanic Latinos. Whatever you're doing here just makes you look really silly. But she didn't. Then she's like, well, Trump's going to come here and get you guys all excited so that way you guys cause violence when he loses. I'm like, okay.
Oh, now so Latinos are violent because Latinos and our passion.
So you can go into the whole, but she's spiraling. Oh. She's spiraling. The cognitive dissonance of Trump winning and him coming into Mexico is too much for her, right? But the main point was.
Did you call your fellow gang members while you were doing this?
I don't even know Spanish. I don't even know Spanish. But she basically was, saying that the violence is on our side. I'm like, look, you guys are the ones who do all the violence. Antifa, Black Lives Matter. Right. You guys tried to kill Trump 4 times. And she's like, we only tried to happen once. I'm like, look, what about the guy that happened in California at that one play at Coachella? And then there was the bleach bomb that our friend Mayra Rodriguez.
Oh yeah, the eyes.
All of them all had serious.
That
eye
was in
damage.
Phoenix, yeah.
She had no clue about those other ones. No clue. She's like, well, I would have heard about that bleach one. I'm like, sent her a link. She never replied back because they're just misinformed. They're watching the same news they've been watching since they was 6 or 9. And they just trust that news, and they don't tell them anything. And if they do tell them the stuff, they tell them the wrong stuff. So we got a lot of people out here that are just ill-informed.
And you know what? You're so right. And I invite you, if you're somebody like that, flip the channel once in a while. Watch something different, because even if
Shut the TV off.
If you think that we're wrong, then wouldn't you want to see what the story is that's being given? That way you could make your argument better. Or do some research. So, you could, Newsmax, you could watch Newsmax or even some Fox. Or
I don't watch any of those, by the way.
And you don't watch TV. but you don't need to really because there's plenty of sources now.
Infowars.com. That's what I watch.
And last time we were on, we were getting ready for the Joe Rogan interview with President Trump.
Joe Rogan.
3 hours, and just like that, it was
gold.
Great.
Gold.
It was
3 hours of gold. Every issue you want to hear, they talk about election integrity. They're talking about his policies overseas, about how dumb Kamala is. I mean, I loved it.
And I tell you what, you were the one that told me long ago that he was so big. He was huge. Joe Rogan was huge. So that's like the first time I really had listened to like an entire show.
Did you like it?
And I liked his demeanor, his style, because what he does, he doesn't let anybody ramble. And he'll hit the point. Like he'd be really good in Congress, because the guys try to do it. Oh, sir, Congressman, you're being too rude and don't bully.
Oh, he's too rich to run for office.
But he's you would never do that. You're right. But I like his interview style, and it was just like I don't know if I should tell this on the air, but I think it's hilarious.
If you don't think you should do it.
So when I listened to it, it was kind of late, and I was falling asleep. But I thought, I'll just listen to it, and then tomorrow I'll finish it off. So I was dreaming. I fell into a dream. Has that ever happened to you? You hit the audio and like maybe you have the radio or the TV going in the background and you incorporate it into a dream. Has that ever happened? Not to you?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because your mind
All
works
the time.
so intricate. So what I started dreaming is that I was in a Jeep, okay? And Joe Rogan was driving the Jeep. And we were all in the front seat. President Trump was in the middle, and I was just there on the side, and I was listening to them talk to each other. And I'm trying to remember what topic it was in the dream. I can't remember. But I was thinking, I want to jump in and do that. I said, no, I need to listen. But because that's how I think intriguing it was. And so I did listen. I woke up, and that day I listened to the whole interview. But Trump just keeps getting better and better. He's so comfortable with people, and he did a great job. And so anytime that he's on, if I can't listen, I'll record it because I always learn some bit of new information that he presents. Do you find that?
Yeah, I mean, it was. The thing about Joe is he makes 3 hours go by like nothing. Yes. I mean, that 3 hours with Trump was like, they could have done 5 or 6. It felt like, there's so many topics that they kind of had to stop short at to go on to the next topic. But each topic you can spend a whole day on.
He did a good job, and he wanted to hit everything, and he really did.
They did. They hit almost everything. The thing that I thought was interesting is they did a poll right after on Joe Rogan's following, right after that interview on who would vote for Trump or Harris, and it was like 95% Trump.
Wow.
And Rogan has swag. He's like #1 podcaster in the world. So.
And that wasn't 100 people. That was how many people responded.
20 million people viewed it within the first day.
So maybe 1 million people responded to that.
It could have been a lot more than that. And so for me, I want to throw a shout out to my platform, the people who follow me. Thank you guys. I put a poll out there about 2 weeks ago, a little over a week ago. 524 people have participated in it. It's got 70 likes on it. It's got like 6 shares. Out of the 518 people, 496 of them voted for Trump.
Wow. So, of course, that is your platform.
I am a super far-right extremist.
But still, because, people follow you that don't necessarily agree with your viewpoint. So, of course, they'd want to get on there and say, no, I'm not voting for Trump.
Well, that's funny because when I first started getting on Facebook, my first 2,000 followers were when I was a super lefty, progressive Bernie supporter. The latter people who I added and followed or whatever were all when I became a Republican. So I thought it was a pretty fair mix. It's a pretty fair mix. And if you go through the people who did vote for Trump, I mean, it's a very diverse group of people. It's a lot of Hispanics out there, a lot of Latinos voting for Trump there.
Latinos.
Mrs. Nyquist.
I think that's awesome. What I understand is for a valid poll, you need about 1,000 people. So if sounds like you got a little more than half of that. That's dang good.
A little more than half. I mean, and it's going to keep going. It goes up every day. So, I mean.
So they have to go to your Facebook site?
Go to my Facebook page. It's right there on my wall. I got some pretty good hashtags on it, so it floats around the algorithm pretty well. But as of today, it's 518 people have voted.
And if they're not your friends, can they still view it?
Yeah, it's open to the public. You guys can. And it's wide open. Like it's right there. Trump or Harris. Just click on it. And look, all I'm trying to say is that all I see is people and hear about is people talking about how they're supporting Trump or they're supporting a particular Republican candidate. I don't really run into hardly any crazy hysterical people anymore. If I do, it's because I'm walking doors and I have to go talk to them. But it is discouraging. It is disheartening when I run into a group of houses that have Harris yard signs. That hurts. That hurts.
Now I've seen a couple more. Sorry, you've seen a few more now?
Yeah, right there because we kind of live next to each other. Right around the corner from my place, there's a little block in the neighborhood right there. There's a ton of Harris yard signs.
Oh, is that right?
It's brutal.
Wow.
Brutal.
And so did you knock on those doors?
I didn't knock on those doors particularly, but I have knocked on Harris Biden doors, and I've kind of gotten away from that because they're just what. I'll give you for instance, when I was running for office, I thought it was cool if someone had my opponent's yard sign out in their front of the house. I would go specifically to that house. Those conversations didn't go very well because if they got that much, encouraged to put their yard sign out there, I mean, they were just, man, we almost got in fist fights.
I was gonna say, how did they treat you? Because
he didn't like me.
Overall, like if somebody came, I mean, my yard, of course, already has all the Republican signs up. I would still treat them nice. I would not be mean to them or anything. But there's some people, they're very angry. They're very mad.
Long story short, we're not going to convince anybody anymore. It's over. The voting. I'm going to be voting on Friday. I'm not normally an early voter. I'm usually saying
you are going to vote early.
But in the spirit of the early voting, I'm going to vote the last possible day of early voting. Just Friday.
So that's a good reminder. So this Friday, that's the last day
of early
here
voting.
in New Mexico.
In New Mexico, yeah.
That you can vote. Where are you going to go vote?
I always go
County?
to Taj Mahal, the hotel.
The county?
Yeah, the county building up there on the hotel.
Taj Mahal.
Yeah, I go to Taj Mahal.
It is a nice building. It really is.
Huge.
It's a beautiful
So
building.
I usually go there. I go to the source. I feel like they can mess with my stuff.
Okay.
The less my ballot has to travel, I think the better.
No, I think it's good right there. I wouldn't put it in a Dropbox. I really wouldn't. I'm going to still stick with my day of. But I want to ask you, do you think at all, and maybe even Gary, if you have an idea, you can weigh in. Do you think there's anything that you could possibly say to a Kamala supporter that might at least make him say, maybe I should think about
That's
this
a good
or show them. Is there?
We gotta get Gary a microphone, but he can just yell out.
Yeah.
Yeah, my allergies, pardon me. I think at this point the die's cast. Everybody has, you've either seen the evidence and you've used reason to suss out what the best option is, or you're locked in emotion land and you believe your own Delulu reality, it doesn't exist, that Harris is somehow going to do something right for this country when...
But what would you tell him? What could you tell him?
Would you still like? I'm always.
So it's
too far gone.
I always want to ask the person. Okay, well that's fine because this is America, and like my friend Rich Esther would say, you have the right to be wrong. But give me the top reason that you just think this person would be so much better than
nothing to do
Trump.
with Harris. It's about Trump. It's
Yeah.
because Trump's racist.
Yep.
Trump's this.
So
Trump's
see,
that.
there can't even go on her qualifications.
No.
I've not yet to hear somebody who can give me a good reason.
they'll cut their nose off to spite their face. It's all emotional, and the blindness of the hatred overtakes them. And it's like, look, there are certain things about Trump's personality that I thought were a little crass, but at the same time, he's the man for the job. And if Harris was the woman for the job and we had the roles flipped, and Harris had the Trump mind, the Trump ideas and all this, I'd be like, wow, guess
Right.
what? I'm voting for Harris. Unfortunately, this isn't the case. But I don't think there's a thing you can say. Everybody is so polarized at this point, and they'll say that the right is some sort of fringe group. No, everybody I know on the right has what's that saying? The mark of a good mind is the ability to entertain a thought without, holding it firm. Everybody I know on the right is more than willing to listen to anybody on the left.
Because I always want to hear why. I want to
unusual.
understand what's your reasoning. And you know what is bad about this too, okay? Because I grew up in the 70s, and we were still fighting for women's rights, really. We still wanted to get paid as much as guys if we did
You'll
the
never
same
get
job
that.
and things like that. And then it went too far. It's gone too far. And someone like that, I have no problem. I would love if we could find a good, qualified, wonderful woman president to be of color. If there was, that'd be super, right? It doesn't matter. But that's not why I'd vote for them. I want them to be qualified. Just like if you have a brain surgeon and they have a really nice manner, you just like them because of their color or whatever. But they're mediocre. They're okay. But the other person, man, horrible bedside manner, not a likable person, But man, he or she is the best brain surgeon in the world. Who are you going to choose? You want the one with the top qualifications who can get the job done. That's the only case that I can make. So have you thought of something in between this?
I just can't listen to her. It blows my
Don't
mind.
you want to listen to Kamala? Wouldn't you like to listen to that for 4 years?
Because I was born in a middle class family.
No, and she was rich. She grew up super rich.
Berkeley, right?
Berkeley University of all places. That doesn't surprise me.
And I was frying fries at the McDonald's. That they can't find my application or my. But
Pepperdine would
that
have
doesn't
been
matter.
better. She seems like a Pepperdine grad.
Hey,
just
Pepperdine.
kidding.
Cousin of mine went to Pepperdine, so.
Oh, I knew I was gonna offend somebody. It's just the word Pepperdine seems so smooth. I feel like you should be having like a polo sweater on of some kind. Made of cashmere. You should have a cashmere sweater on when I say the word Pepperdine.
But
Right.
you know, speaking about voting in elections, we're getting these stories about those mail drop boxes that are igniting. And
Yeah, that's wild, huh?
what do you think
Good
about
point.
that?
It's vigilanteism. People are getting fed up with this because it ain't the conservatives using the absentee ballots. The drop boxes are stupid and illegal in the first place. They shouldn't even be in the first place. Do I agree with them burning them? No, I don't think
course
that's right.
not.
We shouldn't be the ones that are doing the illegal stuff. But when you don't enforce the law, and there is no one there enforcing the law, then people are gonna take the law in their own hands. That's just what we've seen that for our whole evolution as a human species. People will take the law into their own hands.
Now, our good friend Rachel Alexander, Chipster, Rachel Alexander, who we've interviewed, she's a journalist out of Arizona in the Phoenix area, and she's got an article. I'm gonna post it once. I believe. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I think maybe we're just having a conversation. It's too much politics in this head. But she was thinking, you know, maybe there's something about like a setup or a scam. You know, I always think
frame
everything
the
you do
Republicans?
that, it's just, you know, they're detractors, they're
Well,
distractors.
the FBI's investigating, so who knows what's going to turn out.
FBI.
It was the FBI doing it, and they're like, it was Republicans. Who? I wouldn't be surprised.
Nothing surprises anymore, right? Nothing surprises you.
They're engaging in election fraud. Really? The guy, you wore your FBI jacket while you were doing it, man. You know, they're so lazy with it now. They just get away with everything. They're not even good at doing crimes anymore.
Now, Zeke, I know you're working on Michael Caine's campaign.
I am.
Michael Caine for DA attorney.
So is
How are the
Gary.
numbers? And thank you, Gary. How are the numbers? We're getting more Republicans here to vote than the last time, I think, right?
Yeah.
In this area?
So there's two things with that. Anytime you're in Doñana County, you got to understand that our Republican Party is got to be rebuilt. It is in shambles. If there was a word, I would use shambolic. It is shambolic. Yeah, it is just completely.
That's very symbolic, the shambolic.
Yeah, it's symbolic of the shambolic nature of our party. But so there's enough Republicans here, registered Republicans in this county, to win almost any election. Okay, but
Say that one more time if you didn't hear.
There's an ample amount of registered Republicans in this county to pretty much win every election. I think you can win any election with it. So one of the strategies is always to just get Republicans out to vote, which has been extremely difficult before Trump came around. You know, because there is no party here essentially. The second thing is that if you are going to run here, you better damn sure get some damn Democrats voting for you somehow or another, right? And the last poll that we had gotten privy to was about 2 weeks ago, and we were down 2 points in Sunland area. So, and that makes sense because we weren't campaigning.
Really?
We weren't campaigning down there too hard. So we've adjusted. We've campaigned down there heavily. We have won the sign war in Sunland. There are more Kane signs there than any other politician.
Awesome.
For sure. And we have to admit, the people there were extraordinarily welcoming and supportive. It was crazy. Most of them didn't even speak barely any English. And they were like asking, well, are you Democrat or Republican? Republican. Yeah, go ahead. Put the sign up. You know, they wanted Republican candidates and they want to support Republicans. Well, the last cycle for Trump, they voted more for Trump, more for the Republican than they ever have in the past. Because Trump had spent a lot of money campaigning down there. So they're already softened up. So we've adjusted, and we actually got some good news today that there's going to be a huge wall campaign from a high-level city government person who just does not like our opponent. So it looks like we're going to win. We got a ton of Democrat support, and we got the Trump train, and Mike's just a great guy.
He is a great candidate. What about independents vote? Are you chasing any independents or?
You know, independents and undecideds usually they tend to lean right.
I was just going to ask you that because I know a lot of Democrats who they're not ready to be Republicans, so they're independents.
It's that dynamic. They're not ready to flip over, but they're undecided or independent because for whatever reason they don't want to be labeled a Republican. And the most of the people that I know that are non-disclosed or independent, they don't want to because they're scared of the government, which means they're leaning right. They shouldn't be just in the government. So I think I would be safe. I would guesstimate about at least 60% of the independent is voting conservative, at least.
Well, as I said last time, if you really care about crime, consider Kane. seriously, because he knows his stuff and he
Yeah.
has a working plan of what he wants to do. I know the other side is targeting and it's, someone has to have experience. Well, Kane can do this. He really can. And
He knows the law. That's one thing he knows. It's a freaking law.
and he's still in court.
He's still,
right now.
man, he's been in full speed lawyer, trial attorney for literally 25 years. Like, you're not going to get a better candidate. I'm afraid who the heck are we going to get once he's done with his 8 years? Who are we going to get?
That's true. You can do 2 terms.
You know, who are we going to get? We got to find someone.
And here's the thing to think about. So while he's been doing a campaign, which anybody who's worked on a campaign or has run for office, I have done both, it can be a full-time job plus. So
Brutal.
he's doing his job as
And
well
campaigning.
as campaigning and adopting doggies. I mean, this guy, wow.
That's what a winner
He's
should
very
be doing.
Trump-like in
He's
that fashion.
doing it. He's doing it. That's what a winner does. He freaking stepped up to the challenge, and he's performing under pressure. That's what I want out of a candidate.
So, what are we going to do for Election Day? Maybe we might record a show on Monday because Election Day, you're going to be
We're
out
having
there
an
in the
election
field.
party at Mike's office. If you guys want to come out and support Mike, come have some beer, have some barbecue. We're going to have the whole gamut out there. Gary's going to be out there. Alice, you and Mark
Sweet.
are welcome to come.
Thank
We're going to have
you.
outdoor grill, outdoor patio to chill, and we're going to have the election results up on TV. And, usually election parties are pretty depressing. But we'll make sure whether he wins or loses, we're going to have a good time.
Well, just keep praying for him, pray for our candidates. And while we're talking about candidates, I want to let you know that if you, Larry Cedillo, who's running for state rep, he's going to be at a forum in San Miguel. That's today at 6:30 p.m. Today's Tuesday the 29th. I know we're recording this, but we are live on Facebook.
We're live on Facebook.
So wherever there's a Facebook, there it is. If you want to go down there. But just real quick, I want to give you some of the candidates. Is that okay to do that right now, maybe, real quick? Just a quick rundown?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'll give you just the state ones for now, because District 35, Crystal Diamond Brantley. My District 36, these are the Senate, New Mexico State Senate. District 36, David Tofstead, rocking it. District 38, Samantha Barncastle Salopek. And for the state representatives, District 32, Jennifer Jones, awesome. Larry Cedillo, we just mentioned. Kimberly Skaggs, Kim Skaggs, Rebecca Dow, Elizabeth Lee Winterroad, Liz Winterroad. And these are all very good, strong candidates. Now, they all should win. Republicans, get out there because, as you said, if we get enough Republicans out there, they can win. Real quick, I'm going to give you the judicial stuff. So Michael E. Kane, District Attorney, he's going to be awesome. Make sure you tell your friends about him. That's the whole county, okay? So if you live in Doña Ana County, you can vote for him.
If you guys want a sample ballot, if people have been asking me for sample ballots a lot this week, I've probably sent out like 5, 6 of them already. So
how would they contact you? What's the
just
best
hit me
way?
up on Facebook. If you message me on Facebook, I'll sit you. Shout out to Bev. She's the one who made the sample ballot.
And do that, because that way there's amendments and other things to vote on too.
In fact,
as
I'm
well.
going to make a post of it right now.
So also County Commissioner, District 2, Lorraine Limon McCullough. She's awesome. She's great. County Commissioner, District 4, Stacy Durham. I think is that our district? I don't know if we live in the same county district.
Vote for her, though.
That's terrible.
Vote for
I
her
should know.
anyway.
And then County Commissioner, District 5, Marcy Renee Teague. I tell you what, though, all of these Republicans, if I haven't met them personally, and you probably know all of them, you've met them all, they're all good, strong candidates. Because you know what? I never put my name on something unless I feel comfortable, because it'll bite you. If there was a bad candidate, they'll come back and bite you. And I'm cool with all of these guys. So please vote. All right, what have we not hit? Thursday, there's no CCIA meeting. It's Halloween, so they're taking it off. They're busy. Shout out to Julia Reese. Julia Reese is running a crime committee down there. She almost had a nice Trump flag for us. Unfortunately, we couldn't hook it up, but maybe for next show. So when are we going to have our next show, Zeke? When do you want to do it?
I don't know.
He's so busy. Thank you for making time today.
Probably the day after the election. Let's go after the results.
Okay.
Let's go over the results.
Because so watch for Zeke, because Zeke and Gary, they're going to be at the Trump deal,
train, baby.
the Trump train, and also at the Trump live Trump event in Albuquerque.
Yeah, we're going to be up there. We're leaving tomorrow. We got a hotel downtown Albuquerque. We will be leaving. The doors open at 8 a.m. We'll probably get there at 6 a.m.,
Yeah.
5 a.m.
Get there early.
We'll probably get there super early. Yeah, I don't mind hanging out 6 hours to get in there.
Now the venue that it's at, is it outside of the field?
It's at
or
the
what?
amphitheater.
So you're going to have seats?
Yeah. And I don't know if it's an amphitheater, but it's has like an outdoor, like, I think it's an amphitheater.
Oh, okay. So she'd be comfortable.
Yeah.
One of the rallies I remember went to, it was awesome. My friend said, "Hey, I've got VIP tickets, so I can't go. You can have them." And it was awesome because we were right there on the floor. But we had to stand for hours, and it was cement. And I thought, man, I wish I brought a blanket.
Yeah,
Do
there'll be
that.
some chairs.
So you might just, if they let you have them or come in, that's just a little tip because I don't know the venue, and you do. But that's so exciting. I want to give a quick shout out. Oh, by the way, if you guys, we're going to start getting really busy, and we're going to start looking for sponsors and things. But I want to just give a shout out to Joe, who helped us out, and he has affordable appliance repairs. Have you ever dealt with them?
No.
They're really good. God bless you. Thank you. God bless you. Kamal's not here. You don't have to sneeze. It's okay. No. Well, here's the deal.
Jeez, just giving it away for free, Alex.
Here's the deal. So Mark was trying to change the filter on our refrigerator, right? And he couldn't get it to work. It was computers, and Mark's not afraid of computer stuff and everything. We just couldn't do it, and so we thought, well, we're gonna have to call a repair guy, and we called Joe. My sister recommended him. Affordable Appliance Repair, 575-642-6737. Talked to him for a few minutes. Goes, oh, he says, you know what? Just turn it off, turn it back on.
For Trump at least?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, it's good to go then.
Just turn it off and turn it back on. And I thought, okay, well, we probably might have thought of that eventually, but we were looking at, when you think about your big appliance, it's going to be hundreds of dollars, and boom. And I thought, man, I should, pay you or something for it. It was just a phone call, and he was just so wonderful and nice and called me back right away. So I said I'd mention it, affordable appliance repair, because everybody needs to save money.
Tell me you're retired
and he is affordable.
without telling me you're retired.
575-642-6737. No, Mark's retired. I'm still working.
Retired.
I'm still working.
So give a shout out to the appliance
But
guy.
no, he didn't have to do that. He could have said, well, let me come down and check it, or send me a bill for $50.
That's
or
rare these
whatever.
days for sure.
So it was really just
Honestly,
very nice.
appliance
of
guys
him.
are usually pretty badass.
Customer goodwill,
Yeah, they're usually pretty awesome.
Good.
Like, there's Moses who let us put our sign up there for Mr. Kane, downtown Las Cruces. Great guy. Mr.
Awesome.
Kane's fridge went out the other day, and he went and swapped them out right away.
We'll give him a shout out too.
Yeah,
right
Moses, you're badass. Thank you.
Because
and then my other friend Gilbert Reese, he's an appliance guy. Great guy too. Just solid dude. Just great guy. His wife died abruptly of a heart attack. Gee, I wonder why. About a year ago. Oh, actually 2 years ago, I was running for office. She was one of my biggest supporters, and she passed away abruptly. It's so sad.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but her husband, Gilbert Reese, he was a big time appliance guy too. Fix anything, washer, dryer.
And that's a skill that
Great
we're
guy.
losing. Guys don't know how to do a bunch of stuff like that. So it's really important.
That's super important.
Yeah. So, anyways, I just wanted to mention because
Point being, I haven't met a
so
shady
nice.
appliance guy yet. All the appliance guys I know are
Good.
pretty badass.
Well, good. Well, having lived so many years in Phoenix and having not had to call one in a long time, I was just happy to find somebody. It was good. Everything that we've gone through, our new house and everything. But just don't have time for all those stories. But it's all good. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Gary looks like he wants to say something.
Real quick, I just have to say, you're going to need appliance guys because your refrigerators are now so complicated that the code requires a reboot to pick up a new filter. Everything's
No way.
So see, that's what it needed to do. That's what we did. We rebooted the computer on it. You're right.
Damn, he called it.
Yes.
Gary knows how to fix a thing or two as well. Since him being the tech guy.
Well, so Mark, my husband, has a history of computers, and that's typically. I used to always look like the smartest person at work wherever I was because he said, you know what, 90% of the time, whatever, just unplug it and plug it back in, and it would work. So, no, I don't know computers. I just know how to unplug stuff and plug it back in.
That's enough to get you by.
Right on.
Okay, I think we hit everything. What else is there?
Did
Is
we
there
get
anything else?
everything? Announcements. There is a movie tonight. Dennis's church over on Hickory. I'm trying to remember the name of it, but there's a movie tonight.
Things that are going on in the community.
There's just people tell me stuff. That's cool, and that's unfortunately that's how I was back in Phoenix, and I'm kind of reprising that role, I guess. But that's okay. But it's because people are watching our show, and thank you, Chipsters. We appreciate all your support. Share this because when after the election too, we're going to have to start hitting it hard again because then we have other elections coming up with the city.
We got a huge
You might be running
year
for
next year,
office.
Las Cruces. We've got 3 city council seats, 3 county commission seats up next year. So we get Trump train in there, we get Mr. Kane in there, and we win some seats next year. Las Cruces can be a completely different galaxy in a year flat. So,
we need to be. We need that change. Las Cruces
yeah, it's over.
has.
Trump's coming to Mexico. It's over.
so much good
Totally.
energy, and there's still wonderful people that live here and make it a good place to live. And I'm willing to fight for it. I know you are
I think
too.
people just got lazy because the weather's so damn good here. It's like, I just want to chill. I just want to relax. But the beauty, much like California, gets exploited, and they take advantage of you.
You know what? You're right with that.
And California's so close to China, they just sail right over there, buy their politicians out like nothing.
Although
what
today
it
is
is.
going to be one of our windy days, but it's okay. This has been like Phoenix here lately.
China
it's
wind.
Like warm.
We get China wind.
China- is
Just
that
like
what
Trump was saying on Rogan podcast.
China.
Yeah.
China.
The wind. We get China's air 3 days after it's emitted from their horrible.
And that's
power
horrible
plants.
air. Yeah.
And that's probably what we got right now. It's probably from China. We get very, very polluted air days. And today's a very polluted day. It's not a good time to be outside right now.
Yeah.
Thanks, China.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Right. So anything else we didn't hit on? Any events that Kane's going to do or
Bash
interviews
China,
or anything?
Trump event. I think pretty much
Oh,
everything.
Kane did an interview on
Channel 7
Channel 7,
News.
so that's KVIA, right? So look at your news. It might be on tonight again. You just never know.
All I talk about when people they just throw our opponent right under the bus. I mean, everybody I'm talking to, people I haven't talked to in forever, they throw him right under the bus. It's pretty crazy. I'll be surprised if Mike loses, because I've been involved with politics for a long time. The last time I saw somebody that had this much support was Yvette Harrell when she won in 2020.
Wow, and vote for Yvette
You
Harrell.
know, yeah, Yvette Harrell. Trump's going to Albuquerque. She got it down the bag.
And then I sent you
It's all
because someone was that on X, and they did a video, and it was against Tofstead. And Tofstead sent it to me. I said, you know what? This is good, because that means they would never go to that trouble if they had it in the bag.
Yeah, they're
and we've
worried.
noticed the last week or two, all of a sudden the signs are going up. It's posting more stuff on
They
Facebook.
probably ran a poll and it was like, oh snap, we're about to lose this baby.
So that's
And
why.
I think it's too little, too late. If they're losing the polls now, they're already lost, bro.
And the Tofstead campaign, just like your campaign, they're out there door knocking, doing stuff, doing what they got to do, touching the
I
people.
got the smear stuff because I am in Tofsted's district on Steinborn. I got the smear text. Great job. Mr. Steinborn looks like a POS. I mean, that guy
Really?
is a POS. If you look at the stuff he's been put up on charges, well, I mean, he's got some nasty stuff going on.
Wow.
Great job on the throwing him under the bus. I mean, I think that's why he got so scared, because that was some real deal stuff. That guy is that's not a good guy. We need to get rid of Steinborn, 100%. Vote Tofstead, please.
And just look at if your state senators and state representatives, just go look at their voting records. If you're happy
Yep.
with the support that they've given to getting rid of parental consent
He's agreeing,
and abortion,
That's one of the main ones right there. Parental
fine.
consent.
But I don't even have kids that have nephews and nieces, and I'm very concerned. You're a dad. It's we can't do this.
Tofstead did get with the dirt on that one, because it was shortly after that Steinborn's sign started going up and stuff. He hit a nerve with that one, for sure.
Awesome. Good.
So hey, shout out to the Republican women too. I mean, Dora and all that, and Alice. I mean,
Yes.
you guys have just killed it. I mean, Liz, all of them, savage. Shauna,
Mary Alice
Mary
Koenig.
Alice Koenig. I mean, you girls are straight savage. I got to get
They're
you guys
rocking.
some savage shirts or something, because Mike is so elated with you girls, because you girls have done so much work for Mike, campaigning for him, helping him. I mean, just so proud of you girls. I mean, if there was a Republican Party in this county, it's them. It's them.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because I do want to give a shout out to our club. And that's
Please.
Doña Ana County
Please do.
Federation of Republican Women. And Shona Neff is the outgoing president. And, a lot of people, and there's other places where those are kind of just social clubs. But in our club, they're workers, like you say. There's a lot of workers, and they're active and engaged. And if you're a Republican woman looking for a club, please contact me. We meet usually the last Friday or third Friday of the month. And we have luncheon over at the Lutheran Church on Elks Club, and it's just you've been there. You're
Best
probably
organization
are you
I've
a
ever
member?
been a part of,
You're probably a member,
100%. The most well organized, friendly, welcoming, and it's all women. I mean, it's just a wonderful place to be a part of, and to go hang out. They always have cool food, cool guests. I mean, Dora Lucchini, she's just shy of having freaking war paint on. You know what I mean? She gets out there and she hammers it.
Unafraid. I told her the other day, you're very Trump-like. She's
aggressive.
Lucchini Lucero.
I'm sorry.
No.
Lucchini.
Yeah, well, it's Lucchini Lucero, but she goes by Lucchini too, because that's her maiden name.
Oh.
She's half Mexican and Italian. Okay, so passion is there. Let me tell you, she's shorter and littler than me, but man, she's powerful.
She's like a compact nuclear reactor, man. She's insane. I love her to death, though.
We love her.
She's done so much. She's handed out I think thousands of flyers now for Mr. Kane in Spanish and English. I mean, she's just incredible. We're so happy with her and all you girls of the Republican Federated Organization. Shout out to you. I'll be praying for you girls that you're next leader. Because they do, the cool thing about the organization too is they switch leaders every 2 years, right?
We just got our new slate, and Trisha's our new
They keep it
president.
fresh. They keep it
And
fresh.
it's a great slate, so the next
Term limits. You see how powerful term limits can be?
You gotta just renew the power
Jeez.
and don't burn out. Yeah, and
Yeah.
they just keep going. So we're not gonna have a meeting in November for Thanksgiving, but December we'll have like our annual potluck, and then we start again
Well, they
fresh
got
in
money, too.
January.
You go do a talk over there as a politician, they like you, man. They're just throwing that money at you. For real. They're great girls.
We do support our candidates.
100%.
And thank you to people like you because I'm the boomer, this is the millennial, and it's so important. And I think you're going to be very instrumental in
Thank you.
engaging millennials to get, because we need the blood refreshed, renewed, and they're smart, sharp people, and they're feeling it now. So it's going to be encouragement and motivation to get involved. So millennials, get motivated because we still got a lot of work to do. We really do.
Millennials like to hang out in person. You know, we're the last generation that really got to hang out. You know,
Good.
we grew up without technology and stuff. So if you can provide a good experiential environment, you'll get millennials, and we'll get that done this next time around.
Excellent.
We'll get that done.
Excellent. Well, I think that's all for now. We're going to try to. We won't have really a live show then next week.
I'm just going to
maybe
be going
after.
live and updating
Yeah.
people. I'll be with Gary and Mr. Kane. You know, I'll be going live on my Instagram, my Facebook, and the Chips and Salt Show on YouTube. I'll be posting about when I'll be going live too, so you guys can maybe want to tune in. And you know, I'm just gonna get as much content as I can. And if I meet someone cool, I'm gonna go live with them as guests. We'll talk. Me and Gary will figure out a way so I can get some guests involved.
Do
And,
it. And if you can,
yeah.
and I'll tell Gary because you'll be busy. Text me and let me know because Facebook doesn't always alert like it should.
Yeah, maybe we can double post.
And
so
that way I
everybody
can
know,
post it and
something
share
like
it.
that. I can tag you or something like that.
And also be doing on Wednesdays our last 40 days for life. So
Oh, yes.
I usually try to go live on that too. So it's all good. If there's anything going on, let us know in case we don't want to miss it.
Thank you guys. You know, when we get back here, we're gonna know whether or not we have a country or not. You know, so for now, thank you guys so much for all your support, all your love, all your prayers. Your prayers is everything. Mr. Louis Bayad, you know, we just got done doing our Exodus kind of testing thing, and it was freaking awesome. It helped me so much, and
We'll have him back.
I can't wait to do it again. You know, if you guys want to challenge yourself spiritually, check it out. Fasting, Exodus 70. Right?
Was it 70 or 40? What was it?
I think it was 40.
I think it
I
was
don't even know.
40.
I forgot already.
But you did it. I'm so proud
Pretty
of
much
you.
did do it. Yeah, I mean, it was very difficult. You know, it's very difficult. No music. Cut out sugar. I'm still on no sugar right now. I'm on no bread now.
I was eating the sugar for you.
You still have your cheat days here and there. You still slip up here and there. We would communicate with each other when we would slip. So we kind of kept yourself. It's just good to challenge yourself spiritually, guys. Test
Yeah.
the bodily pleasures and temptations of the flesh. If you just learn to like control yourself, it helps your life in so many other ways. So we'll have him back and we'll talk about that again.
Good.
But this show's just been great. Thank you guys so much. We're happy to share this information with you guys. Let's just pray to Moses and Jesus that we get to come back here next week and we have a country. And Trump's in office and we get to start pushing back against the globalist and Marxist takeover so we can have a future for our children and our children's children and for our freaking selves, dude. If it's not Trump, we're going to be in the gulag. Especially us. With this show.
They'll come after us. We're on a list. I'm sure we're on a lot of lists.
I'm on a list. 100%.
But thank you so much for your support. And thank you for the shout out to Lewis.
Yeah, thank you, Alice.
Appreciate that. And until the next time we meet again.
real, guys.
Walk on the Chips and Salsa Show, New Mexico. I'm Alice Lara, aquí con with.
Zeke Rodriguez.
Thank you, Gary Huff, our audio
Mr.
engineer.
Gary Huff. Thank you, sir. Later, guys.
Have
Thank
a
you
great
guys for
week.
everything.
Love you guys.
Love you guys
Love
so
you, New
much.
Mexico.
Thank you.